Hello, hello. Can you see us and hear us? How does it look, everyone? It's getting a little confusing here. How's everyone doing? I can't see the chat. Can you guys hear us clearly? Let us know. Let's go ahead and double check here. There we go. Kelsey Des, how are you? Hi, Christine. Hi, Mia. What's up, Rudy? Yo, let's go. That's right. What's up, Hector? All right, awesome. Appreciate you guys. Got those up. Saw you guys. Oh, sweet. Heck yeah. Hear you loud and clear. Thank you, Blanca. What's up, Color Crush? We are in line.
How are you?
Yes, it's kind of crazy and madness right now, so bear with us. Thank you for. We wanted to start just a little bit late.
Yes, you guys.
They should be letting this in soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we're gonna let this in like around like 10 minutes ago, but
It's already 4:10.
still,
Yeah.
like prepping and stuff, so hopefully pretty soon they'll let us in.
All right. What else do we have in here? Looks and sounds good. HHN hype for real. What's up, Victor? How you doing, Steven?
Hi, Steven.
Come in clutch for those HHN updates. Let's go. How you doing, Tanner? Theme park takeover. Are you guys close to the entrance? No, not really.
We're pretty much like halfway.
We're not far, but we're not close. Yeah. You see these panels? So 1, 2, 3, probably like 4 more panels that way. That's where the entrance is. What happened right now is we're going that way, but they literally just wrapped these people in line. They got to go back that way, loop, and then come back this way. So for those of us that are right here on the left side, we're already in line to go in that way, and then these people have to go like snake around. This is the gold bat. And then GA is on the other side right there. It's crazy in here, you guys.
We don't even know where that ends.
Hi, Blanca. What's up, Armando? Thank you so much. We are having a spooktacular day.
Yeah.
So much
I
fun.
can't wait for you guys to check out our vlog. We've been having so much fun just filming a lot for you guys. And again, shout out to everybody that has actually been keeping up with us on Instagram.
For sure. Gio and Grace, how you doing, friends? Bueno, amigos, si tienen preguntas, estamos aquí para ayudarles en español también. Este es el evento más grande de Halloween del mundo. Es una convención, tienen pues todos tipos de cosas que venden de Halloween, muchos eventos, anuncios de los parques de Not Scary Farm, Universal Studios. Estamos esperando ahorita para entrar al evento, en la presentación de Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights, Noches de Terror, if that's what you want to call it.
Hi, Jocelyn.
Y ojalá nos den anuncios. What's up, Casey?
How are you?
Excited for the HHN talk. Heck yeah. What's up, Jesse? Hope you're having a good time, Jesse. Yeah, Jesse, where you at? Hi, SoCali. Looks like you guys have been having a blast. We have been having a blast. Too much fun. It is amazing. We're having a great time.
It's crazy, you guys. I already told Chris, like, I can't wait to come back next year.
I know.
That's how much fun we've been having. Yeah.
Shout out to Midsummer Scream for inviting us out for media.
Definitely.
So grateful. Again, we couldn't have done it without all of you guys. Thank you so much.
Because I think that's why she went.
All right. So hopefully the connection stays strong. Hopefully the connection does not buffer. Hopefully there's no glitch in the matrix. I'm glad it's good right here, right now. But once we go inside the ballroom, that's where we have to kind of be careful. So fingers crossed.
We're hoping that
Fingers crossed.
it's not going to go off because we actually did go live on Instagram yesterday. We didn't have any problems, and that was downstairs.
Yeah, very true.
Which we thought it's probably more prone to go off down there. So we'll see how it goes in here.
So we're gonna need those fingers crossed emojis in the chat, those thumbs up in the chat.
Judy, hello, how are you?
Send us those good vibes so we can have a great stream. Hi, Judy, all the way from San Diego. How are you doing, Judy? Good to see you. What's up, Gerald?
Hi, Gerald.
Ghosty there says merch haul. Yeah, we bought some awesome shirts today.
I know.
I had to buy myself a new hat,
Yesterday, too, we got some snacks.
some knickknacks.
We got some magnets,
Yeah.
stickers.
Can't wait to show you guys.
We'll show you guys what we got.
We'll vlog it and then we'll probably post it later when we get home on Instagram.
Yeah.
We can give you guys a sneak peek of what we bought. I want to buy everything, but I'm like, oh, it's so expensive. It's gonna add up. Deep Parking Dave. Hey, Dave. It was nice to meet you yesterday as well.
Thank you.
Shout out to Dave.
Hi to us.
Yeah, Dave and Linda. It's so nice to meet you guys. Paloma Bueno says, yes, fingers crossed we have a great stream. Thank you, thank you. How you doing, Billy Bob?
Me and Dave held hands. We said a little prayer before.
Good vibes, good vibes. Fingers crossed. What's up, Aleo? How you doing? Thank you, Mia. Mom made me move to Apple phone. I gave her my old phone to her. There you go. Cool. Got a new phone. All right, so bear with us while we navigate this right here. Again, we're on the left side, so we go straight that way. They should be letting us in soon. What do you guys think? Okay, let's start seeing this. What do you guys think is going to be the speculation for Horror Nights? What is John Murdy going to announce today?
What do you guys think? It's can't say, but hope you guys have a
horrifyingly terrific time.
I love that.
Yes, thank you so much, KSW. You guys are rocking it. 10K is right around the corner. Thank you, KSW.
Thank you, KSW.
We couldn't have done all of this without you guys. We're always going to keep saying that. We're humbled by all of you. Thank you so much for always hitting that like button. Wow. This is how we feel when you guys enter our chat. Wow.
There we go.
Andy, good to meet you, Andy. How you doing? Andy said Terror Tram, hopefully, and Maze or Scare Zone.
Okay, we already spoke to a few people, and that's what they're hoping for. They're hoping for some Terror Tram news.
Give us the Terror Tram.
So we'll see. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Give us the Terror Tram and Scare Zones, and give us a sneak peek as to what Slash is composing or has composed for this year. We already know Slash isn't going to be back this year to compose the songs for the house. Well, yeah, look at this. Check it out, guys. We've been waiting in line for about, let's see, almost an hour. We've been waiting in line for over 50 minutes. I hope they announce in the Walking Dead building. Yeah, that's gonna be Evil Dead Rise. So just announce it. Just announce it, so we don't have to worry about it. We already know it's gonna be Evil Dead Rise. Speculation. I was watching Enchanted Explorer stream before I came in, but I was like, I want my favorites to live. Oh, here we are, Cristal and Cris goes. Appreciate you, Casey. Thank you so much, Casey. Hey, shout out to Enchanted Explorers. Shout out to all the streamers as well. Are we moving? Are we going? You guys?
Yeah, I don't see the.
Yeah, we're going. No.
Please go.
We gotta go.
Please move.
I was kind of scared for a second.
I know, right?
All right, everybody, we're moving. Here we go. How you doing, Humberto? Hi, April. Sorry, you guys, again, just give us a second. We'll catch up with the chat as much as we can. We're just trying to navigate the crowds here. You guys can see madness. Shout out to Ed and Kelly. How you guys doing? Good to see you. We'll see you guys in there. Shout out to Park Thrills Pass. Hey, how you guys doing?
Hell yeah, hell Chucky.
Gold bats, excellent. Gold bats, all good.
Megan Dance Party. So down for a Megan Dance Party. I can't sing with the Jabberwockies. I can't even sing. I can't even break dance with Yes, Mystery Base here. Oh, man. Mystery Base right here. Yeah. Oh, he's right there. All right. Yeah, perfect. Woo! Welcome to the Grand Ballroom. We're hanging out with our awesome friend Mondo and Mystery Base. Shout out to Five Fires. Love them so much. All right, we got to find some good seats. Let's see here. Yeah, it's packed, you guys. Yo!
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
I'm sorry.
I'll give you another one.
Yeah,
Hey, what's up, brother? Good to see you. How you doing? Good to see you again. Brian, always a pleasure. How you guys doing?
Good.
Hi, good, Timothy. Good to see you. Hey, man, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. There's a whole crowd here. Oh, we got Noah too. Wait, sorry, nice to meet you, Chris. I think we saw you yesterday. Yeah. Good to see you. How's the connection, everybody? How's the connection? Five Fire Fam, yeah, Five Fire Fam is in the building. Let's see, indeed, Fright Fest announced a cool lineup considering going for the first time. So Cali, yes, they're gonna have The Conjuring and Saw.
Yes.
So now Six Flags Magic Mountain Fright Fest is gonna have IPs. We definitely want to go.
We're definitely gonna be there, you guys. We'll be bringing you guys that content from
Six Flags. Scream Break was incredible. Supposedly, we heard that the person that was in charge of Scream Break, that was their first event hosting, like planning it out. And
they did an incredible job.
it was amazing.
We were impressed.
Yeah, for sure.
We were really impressed.
So if that's the case, that means Fright Fest this year is going to be next level, top notch. Looking good, awesome. Thank you so much. What's up, Fun Grub? How you doing, Mark?
Hello.
Yeah, Conjuring. I'm so excited for that. Muy bien, aquí estamos bien, okay. De nuevo, les estamos explicando qué está pasando. Tenemos la presentación de Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights. I almost want to call it like Noche de Terror. Is that how you would translate it to Horror Nights?
Así se dice, Noche de Terror.
Noches de Terror en Halloween Horror Nights. Pero lo que pasa es que en esta convención de Midsummer Scream, en esta presentación nos dan exclusivos.
Tienen
Anuncios. El director, el mero que es encargado de todo el evento de Halloween Horror Nights está aquí. Se llama John Murdy y nos va a dar más información, qué esperar, qué va a ser nuevo, yeah. Translation, subscribe if you have. What's up, Chris?
Por eso en este evento hay muchos, siempre le esperan para ver qué anuncios nos van a dar.
Exactamente. Y pues ya nos dieron anuncios el viernes. ¿Creo que fue el viernes?
Sí.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about the announcements that we got on Friday? So we actually got The Exorcist Believer based on the new movie.
Yeah. So we were right about that.
Universal Monsters Paris featuring Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, The Invisible Man, and then Hunchback Notre Dame, which is pretty incredible. I'm excited for that one already.
And the Exorcist is based on the movie.
And The Exorcist, yeah, based on the movie.
It's based on the movie.
And then we already knew about Chucky, so we don't have to worry about that. Ooh, look at Bela Lugosi, the man behind the cape. A new book coming soon. Mochi the Cat Maze. We had that last year. The cat alley, Black Cat Alley.
I wonder if they're still gonna have the same thing because actually, you know, that whole area they haven't brought it down.
Yeah, it's still there. Look at this guy. He's the villain right here. Look at this villain. So Callie says, I'm so excited for Universal Monsters. Same. I think it's going to be incredible. I hope we get behind the scenes with The Last of Us. Can you imagine? That'd be incredible too. Oh, look at it. Michael Myers is here.
We've seen a couple of them around.
I sent you text messages with the email.
Jocelyn says, I hope your Universal comes back with Annabelle live action. Annabelle live action. Sounds kind of scary.
We're gonna Halloween it up. That's what Mama said.
Yeah.
There's our homie right here.
You're the homie.
You're the homie. If you guys haven't checked out Villain Online, talented photographer. We're sitting next to a celebrity too. Timothy,
hey,
how you doing? Timothy AF.
You guys are the celebrities.
No, come on, man. We were dying to see you again.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you guys.
It's been a while.
Since like Toontown.
Yeah, since Toontown.
Wow.
If you guys aren't following Timothy AF on Instagram, talented, hardworking, all over the place.
Thank you guys
We
so
gotta
much.
keep up with you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
We're trying to keep up with you.
How's your experience been so far?
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
I like the floor and like all the whole scare zones that they had. I was like,
A lot of fun.
it just kind of hypes you up for Halloween season.
We thought the same thing.
Yeah.
We're
like to me personally, it feels like we're already in October.
yeah,
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Happy
It's
Halloween
so
already.
crazy.
Right after July 4th.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah.
Happy, yeah. But I'm super excited.
So, let's see. I was going to ask you another question.
What announcements are you hoping for today?
I'm hoping we'll get a brand new maze that we've never had.
Yeah.
I think John Murdy will expand a little bit on Stranger Things. I know that's really, really hyped up.
It's so popular, yeah.
And then he'll probably maybe show some concept art of, you know, some of the mazes they have. I know they announced a bunch the other day.
Yeah, on Friday.
Yeah, on Friday, so...
It's crazy that they announced so much on Friday, and then we still have this today.
I know.
What else is there left?
This is the cherry on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And then I think we'll get some looks at merch.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Appreciate the
Yeah.
Unofficial interview.
No, no.
Again, if you guys aren't following Timothy AF on Instagram,
Super excited. Thank you guys.
we
so
appreciate
much.
you, man. Yeah, of course.
Good to see you guys.
How you doing, RT? Everyone's feeling good? Okay, awesome. Stream looks good on our end. Perfect. We are streaming in 1080p, so make sure you switch it to 1080p for a crystal clear picture. I'll go ahead and show you guys what it currently looks like right now. It is packed. This is all video, you guys. I don't even think, okay. They barely started letting GA in right now. Check it out. They barely started letting GA in. That's why they're trying to find some good seats right now. Crazy. They barely started letting GA in right now. Yeah.
That GA line was no joke. It's
No,
crazy.
for sure.
I don't even know where it ended actually.
All right.
But again, you guys, happy Sunday. Hope you're having an amazing day. Hope you had an amazing Saturday yesterday. Hope you guys are unwinding with us right here, right?
Yes.
Ready for the announcements.
The show's supposed to start at 4:30,
Yes.
but they're probably going to delay it maybe another 5-10 minutes just because they barely started letting people in.
Yeah, but so far I think our prayers have been answered, babe.
We're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
We're good, yeah.
I just saw the It Escape Zone in Vegas. They announced another escape zone,
Yeah.
escape room.
I guess we're gonna have to go
In
a
Vegas,
lot
too.
to Vegas during spooky season, babe.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to dedicate half to here
and then half in Vegas.
California, and then half in Vegas.
As if we need another reason to go.
Would you guys be down for that?
So Dr. Oddfellow is the icon this year, right? He's the icon for Orlando. We are getting some overlap. But as of right now, Universal does not really have a icon. Maybe we get that announced this year.
Shake your body liner. Shake, Sinora.
Hi, Laura.
Work, Sinora. Work your body liner. Work, Sinora.
So prolific, I know, it's a whole vibe. You guys, we actually got invited last night to like one of their parties. The DJ was so good too. We had a lot of fun. We danced the night away.
It was
and
so
then
much
we
fun.
went out to dinner. We went out to Yard House, right by the harbor. It was a lot of fun. Again, can't wait for you guys to watch that vlog. We've been vlogging everything for you guys, so you'll get a little behind the scenes of what our weekend has been like.
Shake, Sinora. Shake your body liner.
Bust the move, baby. Bust the move. I like it.
I'm sore from dancing yesterday.
I like it.
Working all the time. You can talk about cha-cha and the waltz or the rumba. So Nora's dance has no title. Jump in the sun, hold on to the right. Jump in the line, rock your body and time.
I like the spooky Sunny. Promoting the spooky Sunny.
Ooh, already for next year?
Thank you, Gia and Grace. Yeah, we've been having so much fun.
Shake,
Casey says, hey, get it, Chris.
I tried.
That was his best move.
What? I could do better. I mean, no, you're right.
He could, no, actually, if you guys didn't know, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. They could do a really, really good Macarena.
Macarena? That's my signature.
La Macarena. We have Lisa here. Yeah, we have Lisa here. Lisa M. Lisa M in the chat and her daughter. Have fun, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, guys.
Shake, Sinora. Shake your body line.
Shout out to Lisa M.
I know, you guys. I'm pretty sure you guys know she's always in our chat.
Oh,
always,
yeah.
always supporting us.
She loves Universal,
Yes.
I think, more than we do. Good to see her there. Yes, we saw her yesterday, and we told her we were going to see her today. Boney Island at the National History Museum, September 28th.
I'm loving that they have these advertisements because I'm learning about new events.
Wait, Boney Island, isn't that the one that they had at the Griffith
Look,
Park?
Escape It in
Yeah.
Vegas.
Nice. Alright, let's see.
Oh, people want to see your Macarena, babe.
I ain't doing a Macarena. I'm okay, thank you.
He said on Thursday he'll do the Macarena.
Wow. Alright, it is currently...
For how many likes?
Yes.
Just kidding. He said 1 like and he'll do the Macarena.
A minute and a half. And it's officially supposed to start. They might wait a few minutes. Let's see.
How about if Universal Studios would bring back the weekend maze? I know a lot of people are hoping for that. We've heard so many people say like we hope they bring back the weekend. I know they're gonna bring back some type of entertainment. They always do. We've heard rumors about that, but I don't think it's gonna be the weekend. I think it would make more sense if they ever do bring him back. It might make more sense for next year because he is dropping a new album. So I think it would make more sense probably next year. Hi Benjamin, how are you?
Excited.
Happy Sunday, Benjamin. Hope you're doing amazing. 57 likes, thank you guys so much.
Let's get to 120 likes.
Make sure you guys lock in your likes. Again, we are here currently waiting for the AK Chan panel here at Midsummer Scream. Hopefully we get some great announcements. This is what we've all been waiting for, you guys.
Yes.
What do we talk about like every Thursday, every live we're at? We want the announcements. So here we are. Today is the day. Let's see what we get today, you guys.
We made it in, friends. We got a really, really good spot. Shout out to our friends here. All of our friends are here. Shout out to all the content creators that made it out.
Yeah, I love you guys.
Enjoy the announcement.
Let's see. Yes, says, I wonder what the bar on the lower lot will be.
Oh, the bar. Let's see. Stranger Things or
Yeah.
Last of Us? It has to be one of the bigger IPs.
It might be Stranger Things, I think.
Yeah. Surfer Boy Pizza.
Yeah.
Something cool like
Yeah. Oh my God! Imagine if they do Surfer Boy Pizza or
Scoops Ahoy.
Scoops Ahoy. Yeah, it could be
Well,
like themed like that as
I
well.
think-
Well, when we went to the Stranger Things experience, they had like a whole bar area and it was so cool too.
Yeah, maybe just an 80s theme bar.
Yeah, maybe like an 80s theme.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, you guys, here we go.
Every seat in the house, please. If there's an empty seat next to you, please fill it in so others may have fun as well. Thank you.
Yeah, we might get Surfer Boy Pizza, but next to Panda Express.
And you guys, if they have Surfer Boy Pizza, it was surprisingly really good. To be honest with you, I did not expect a lot from it when we went to the Stranger Things experience.
Yeah.
I thought it was just gonna be, you know, like frozen pizza, you know, just steamed to the movie or something, but it was really, really good. I was surprised.
I agree.
Yeah.
It was delicious. It was just an announcement. No. Oh, they're both back there? Sorry. If you guys are ready. Again, don't forget to lock in that like button. Lock in your like, because once you hit it once, it's locked in for the rest of the live stream. But Nelly says they need to bring back pizza fries this year. You know what? We had some mixed reviews on the pizza fries, but I know it was a really, really popular item last
I'm not
year.
sure if it's because we tried it like in the earlier
In the
days.
beginning.
Again, you guys, we do always recommend like for you to go later into the season because in the beginning they do try to figure things out.
Yeah, they have to figure it
With
out.
the mazes and then also the food and stuff like that.
Thank you again so much, Lisa. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Ghosty Dad says pineapple goes on pizza. No, it doesn't. Remember, for Halloween Horror Nights, never go alone. Yeah. Fit check. We got the skulls and the roses.
Guys, it's just been so crazy to wear this around our neck.
Yeah.
It's been so crazy to see again.
Please welcome to
Here we
the
go.
stage the founders and executive team of Midsummer Scream. Executive Director David Markland. Executive Producer
Hi, Beverly, just
Gary Baker. Producer Claire Dunlap. And Creative Director Rick West.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Oh boy, full house again. Thank you for coming to Midsummer Scream. Is everybody having a good time? Thanks for being with us all weekend.
Hi, Molly.
This is our 6th year. For us, though, also I think everybody on stage as well, this is also the 10th year since we did another event, started another event called Scare LA. Who was here for the first Scare LA? All right. And thanks to everyone who's joined us along the way. We're super proud of Midsummer Scream. There's another person who's been with us at every one of our events, every one that we've been part of for the past, over the last 10 years. That is John Murdy, who's here tonight, Halloween Horror Nights. So it means so much to us personally that he's here. He's continued to come back, puts our trust in us. But I was just talking to him backstage. He said, "Can I go a little long?" I'm like, I said, I think they'll enjoy that.
Do it.
Anyway, that's enough about me right now. Thank you again for coming, Gary.
Hey everybody, did you have a good time this weekend? This is just an amazing crowd. I mean, the theater is completely full. So thank you all for coming in and attending. We know this is one of the biggest panels in the entire show. So thanks again. I just wanted to do a quick shout out to my tech team that's back here. It's Jim and Anthony, Call Brothers Productions. Also Todd, Jesse, and Kevin. They keep all 9 stages operating with all this content. We had some amazing panels. We're pretty much in here in this theater all the time, but the talent that was here this weekend was absolutely incredible, and we're so happy that you all attended the panels. And we'll turn it over to Claire.
Hi everyone. Oh my gosh, look at us all. We're like a small country in here. It's fantastic.
Halloween
Thank
country.
you again. I know we're all saying thank you. We're just so grateful. We are so happy how this weekend turned out. It was a fabulous turnout with all of you. It takes a village to put this on, and you guys are all part of that village. We do this for you and because we love to do it. We so appreciate you. We appreciate our white bats, and we are just thrilled to have you here. And thank you for coming. And I'm going to ask everybody again, did you have fun?
This is how we end it.
That's what we want to hear. All right. And to Mr. Request.
Well,
Halloween time.
so in 2016, I said we're going to create a show that this community wants and deserves. And every year since then, I've asked the same question, have we done you proud? We're here because you're here, and it's a really great symbiotic relationship. And seeing everybody that has come out this weekend, thank you for spending your time with us here. This is one more huge step to getting life back to normal, right?
Yes.
And God, did anybody think that anybody was going to call you normal this weekend? So thank you again. I want to thank all the haunters in the Hall of Shadows. Did you guys check that out? The facades are ridiculous in there. Like, if you haven't had a chance yet, well, there's YouTube. But thank you to all the haunters that have done that. Special shout out to Cal Haunts. For the past 5 years, they've done our entry experience to the Hall of Shadows, and they knock it out of the ballpark. every single year. So we're blessed by them. We're blessed by all the haunters that have participated, and we are blessed by you, our community. Thank you, and happy early Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween, friends. Happy Halloween.
Welcome to Midsummer Scream.
Here we go, you guys. Here we go. Enjoy.
At the bitter end of our weekend. And as you can see, we've saved one of the biggest treats for last. Universal Studios Hollywood's Halloween Horror Nights.
Here we go, you guys.
Will there be a glimpse of things to come this Halloween? Of course. Will there be a major reveal?
Hi, Billy Bob.
You can bet your life on it. Here's the man with the sinister plan, all the way from Ireland. Please welcome John Murdy.
I should have filmed that for my kids. Let me start with this, okay? Thank you. Thank you. For anybody who does what we do with Halloween Horror Nights, everybody who works on this event, all the talented men and women, if there's one thing we know is that we are extremely lucky and extremely privileged to be able to do what we do and create what we create for all of you. Because without you, I would probably be operating a puppet show somewhere in Dublin, on Grafton Street. Everything we do, all the passion and the work we put into this event, it's all for you guys. So thank you for all your support, year after year after year. After year. This is 17 years for me now. 18 if you count 2020, which I do. We built it. Let's see. You know this, right? By the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes. How about an announcement right out of the gate? I have to ask you guys, did we announce anything when I was in the air? Because I was on a plane flight for like 11 hours. Did anything happen Friday? 3 mazes on the same day?
Wow.
How about another one? But first, a history lesson.
A history lesson.
Just like last week.
We've had a long history of creating original Latin American themed horror content in Halloween Horror Nights, right? This actually goes all the way back to 2010. That was the first year we did La Llorona as a scare zone. And then, of course, we had the La Llorona mazes 2011, 2012, 2013. We teamed up with Danny Trejo to do El Cucuy. And then kind of the second phase began. We started working with Latin American film directors. It started with Robert Rodriguez on his TV series From Dusk Till Dawn. And then Guillermo del Toro. Doing Crimson Peak, and then 7 years. 7 years went by where we didn't really do that. We moved on to other things. We started doing other opportunities, and then coming out of 2021, I noticed the plaza, the Universal Plaza, the way we themed that around Day of the Dead, and I noticed everybody inside it, and something in my brain just clicked that year, and I went, we gotta get back to this. This is what we should be doing. And so, last year, we brought back La Llorona.
La Llorona, the Weeping
The
Woman.
Return of La Llorona.
So it feels like it's time for something else.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
The legends and myths of Latin America at Halloween Horror Nights continues with Monstros, the monsters of Latin America.
It's all of them.
Study this real well. There's going to be a quiz at the end, okay? So what is this? This is an all-new haunted house that features 3 infamous monsters, or monstros, which is Spanish for monsters, of Latin America.
Los monstruos.
What's wrong with this picture? Somebody really screwed up. I'm going to explain that in just a second. But this is something I want to do today. I've been doing this show, as the team said, I've been doing it every single year that there's been a Midsummer Scream and Scare LA before that. So I'm always up here, I'm always the spokesperson for the event, I'm always doing all the media and the press, but the reality is there are hundreds, literally hundreds of talented men and women that work on this event, right? I don't create this by myself. It takes everybody's passion, everybody's hard work, everybody's dedication. So as we're going through this presentation today, and he wasn't kidding, I don't know how to edit, so I was making this, back in Ireland, and I was like, it'd be cool to talk about that. Oh, it'd be cool to talk about that. And I just went, you know what, let's just go for it. Let's just put everything in it. But I did want to point out, right off the bat, right at the top of the presentation, an individual named Rose Gonzalez. And Rose Gonzalez works with our marketing department. So back in 2010, when we first decided to do La Llorona, I'll be totally honest with you, I did not grow up with La Llorona. That's not a story I was told as a kid. So I really needed to do my research. We take our research very, very, very seriously at Halloween Horror Nights, no matter what we're doing, whether it's a movie, a television show, original house, we do a ton of research. But I've always used Rose as my touchstone for things that have to do with our Latin American houses. And now this year I've been working with Universal Studios Hollywood's DEI team. We'll give it up for them as well. Do you know what DEI stands for? Diversity, Equity, Inclusion. Should have been Diversity, Inclusion, Equity, because then it would have been DIE, and that would have been a lot cooler for a horror event. But they've been a big help to me as well. And back when the days of La Llorona, we turned to our partners at Telemundo. We turned to actors. We worked with Diego Luna, and he helped us out with La Llorona. When we were doing El Cucuy, it was Danny Trejo. So this team had a big impact on everything you're about to see, because I'm going to walk you through a little bit of this house. Let's meet the Monstros.
Let's meet them.
We'll start with our first one, and this is, I'll give anybody a penny if you can pronounce this name. Anybody? Tlahupuchi. This is a character that comes from the Tlaxcala region of Mexico, and it's really interesting because it's a witch, but it's also a vampire. And with any of these Latin American myths and legends, they're all passed down orally for hundreds of years. In fact, Tlahupuchi, some people think the origins of the story go back to Aztec times. That's how old it is. But I'll give you the version that's the most common version, right? Because there are variations to the story. But in the most common version, anybody can be a Tlahupuchi. Could be you. Could be you.
I'll call him Pucci.
You don't know when you're a little kid that you're a Tlahupuchi until you reach puberty. And then things start to change, as they do. And you become aware that you are in fact a Tlahupuchi. So a Tlahupuchi has to do a very, very specific ceremony, and then it transforms into one of a series of animals. But the most common one is a turkey vulture. And it flies to the house of its victim, and it sucks the blood out of them. It doesn't bite them like a vampire. It sucks the blood through the skin, and it leaves these telltale bruises and markings. So Tlahupuchi is the first of our monsters. And I'll give you little facts as we go along that came out of the research we did on this house. As late as the 1950s, there was a particular doctor in Mexico who was trying to figure out why the infant mortality rates were so high in this particular region where this story originates. And he pulled all these death certificates, and he was doing his research and he was studying, and he noticed that cause of death, all the parents were writing on it, Talalopuchi, or witch. So that's what first brought this story to larger attention. The last known execution of a Talalopuchi was 1973. Monsters are real. Let's meet our next one. Actually, let's take a look at the character design for Talalopuchi. So this is our iteration of Talalopuchi. We kind of have two different versions going on here. The one you see in the white dress, it's more pale skin. That's a brand new Talalopuchi, just started feeding. The one you see in the red, that's a Talalopuchi that's been around for a while and has ingested a lot of blood. And I should say there are male Talalopuchis and there are female Talalopuchis. But we're going with the female Talalopuchis because they are stronger than the males. Girl dad. Our next monster is La Lechuza.
La Lechuga.
Some of you were right on the internet. Some of you, I think they're doing La Lechuza. I have no idea how you got that, but you were right. La Lechuza, also known as the Owl Witch, okay? And this comes from all over Mexico, but it also comes from the southwestern United States, particularly Texas. And I'll give you, again, the most common iteration of this story. There's an old woman who lives in a village. She's the kind of old woman that, people whisper about, and people become convinced that she's a witch, so they put her to death. But she comes back as La Lechuza. So she's a combination old woman and a witch. And there's one particular thing the La Lechuza does that's extremely creepy. And again, you can go on the internet and read all about this. There's endless Reddit pages about people's encounters with La Lechuzas. But one thing that it does is late at night, if you're in your house and you hear a baby crying, don't go outside. Because the La Lechuza can disguise its voice to sound like an infant crying. And then when you go out of the house to see what's going on, it swoops down and picks you up. Monster of fact. In 1975, a town in South Texas, and this is documented in the press, was terrorized by a La Lechuza. People started seeing it, they saw it flying overhead, they started calling into their local radio stations. There's even actually a song written about this that was released called La Lechuza. We're not using it in the house because it's kind of silly. But it was a huge big deal. And this is what they eventually found. Two boys made this and stuck it up in a tree, and they kept moving it around to different trees. And this is a picture from the local newspaper when the police finally figured out what was going on. Best prank ever. I need to hire those two kids for Horror Nights. Because we did stuff like that when we were kids. Did you guys do stuff like this? We used to rig dummies through a tree and make it so somebody would be walking down the street late at night and it would just suddenly stand up right in front of them. Don't do that, by the way. I remember being chased through a field by somebody when I was a kid. But the weird thing about this story is, okay, so they saw it in a tree. It doesn't explain why so many people saw it flying overhead, and they described it as this huge bird. So monsters are real. And this is our design for La Lechuza. Wow. And that brings us to our third and possibly last monster. And that is El Silbón. I bet you didn't figure this one out, right? Nobody? Okay. El Silbón, which translates to the Whistler, is from the Los Llanos region of Colombia, Venezuela. And it's another great story. Different iterations of the story. I'll give you the most common one. So there's a boy, which is really like a late teenager boy, living on a farm, fairly well off. He falls in love with a woman that the father does not approve of. The father tells him, get rid of this woman, but he's in love and he doesn't get rid of him. So one day the father comes into the barn and he catches the boy and the girl, and he flies into a rage and he murders the girl, kills her right in front of the son. The son flies into a rage and murders his father. And then granddad comes home sees what's been done, and he takes the boy out to the field, ties him to a post, whips him repeatedly with a whip until the flesh falls off his back. Then he takes like limes and like tequila and pours it in the wounds. No. And if that wasn't bad enough, then he sets wild dogs upon him that rip him to shreds. And as this horribly mutilated guy is stumbling towards the woods, the grandfather comes up to him and hands him the sack of his father's bones, his murdered father's bones, and says, "You are condemned for all time to carry the bones of your murdered father on your back." And he disappears into the woods, and he's not seen again. And then eventually this creature comes out of the woods that is now known as El Silbón. And it's a towering creature. Some say he's like 10, 12 feet tall. Really, really skinny, carrying the bones of his murdered father on his back. And he's known for his distinctive whistle that kind of rises and falls. If you hear this whistle and it sounds far away, that means close. El Silbón is actually really close. But if you hear the whistle and it sounds close, that actually means he's far away. So we'll give you a monstro fact about El Silbón. Aside from the distinctive whistle that gives him his name, he is said to prey primarily on womanizers
and drunkards.
And drunks. You're all screwed. You're not making it out of this haunted house, apparently.
Oh, great.
All right, let's take a look at our design for El Silbón. So obviously we're doing him as a still walker in key scenes.
Oh, heck yeah.
And let's get into some environments and the inspiration for said environments. And again, I'm going to do some team member appreciation.
Thank you, Jim.
My longtime creative partner on Halloween Horror Nights, Mr. Chris Williams. Chris is our art director. He's our production designer. Since 2006, Chris and I conceive everything, all of the houses for Halloween Horror Nights together. We do it as a team. We always have. But working with Chris, who's been his right-hand woman since the very beginning, as well as Brandy Creason, who's our production design manager. And Brandy and Chris, and a staple of really talented production designers from Hollywood films and television, they manage that entire team every year, drawing every single wall in every single house by hand. And their work is invaluable to the success of Halloween Horror Nights. I come up with the written word, and then they translate it into what it visually looks like. And I'm going to show you a little bit about what they've been up to lately. We're going to start with the setting for this house. When we were thinking about where to set this particular house, being that it's a new original house, we wanted to create a really iconic place to kind of ground the house in. So I started doing research. I did endless research, pulled hundreds and hundreds of images, but these two images in particular really stuck with me, and this is really what Brandy and Chris really latched onto as well. They're graveyards in Mexico. One's from Guadalajara, one's from Guanajuato. But I really liked, in the long kind of rectangular image, that Gothic Mexican architecture of that mausoleum. We thought that was a really cool element. And then the other one that I really liked was the idea of these sealed crypts that you see in the other image.
Thank you for being here.
So we created this place that we call the Cemetery of the Lost. And the idea here is that this is the place where every one of the victims of these monsters are buried. And it is a forsaken, condemned place that you do not go at night because the weather is always bad. It's always thunder and lightning here. Once your relatives are buried there, you never go back to visit them. This is just where they live. This is the elevation, the color elevation for the facade. It's funny. I see what you guys say a lot of times, on Twitter and whatnot. And I saw this one guy and he goes, "I think that's a mausoleum," right? And this other guy goes, "That's impossible.
Yes, Casey.
There's no such thing as a two-story mausoleum."
Now it makes sense, Casey.
Two-story mausoleum. And if you can peek over the fence right now, this is what you'd see. This is the mausoleum being built right now. This was taken about a week ago. We're just getting into the vine work. But if you look in the front, it looks kind of empty. And it's not going to be empty. There's a lot more coming. This is another piece of inspiration. I love these mourning statues that we found in these cemeteries in Guanajuato. and thought that was a really cool element. So I'm going to give you like the down view. This is the ground plan looking down, and that's a side elevation of the facade. You see the big, like above ground crypt with the statue, but you see something else. And this is going to get back to that piece of key art at the beginning. You see the guy standing there holding a shovel? Okay. We thought it would be cool to create our own original character to add to this mix. And this character would be like the narrator of the experience. He is the caretaker of the cemetery, and when we were trying to conceive what he should look like, we were really thinking about like traditional looks for the Grim Reaper. So I pulled all this research. These are just a few of the images. Does anybody know what the photograph is? And don't say Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Does anybody know who that actor is? Very famous in a very famous horror movie. Max van Sydow, who plays the priest in The Exorcist. This is Max van Sydow back in the 1950s in a foreign film called The Seventh Seal, where he plays death. So we pulled that image. Then we pulled images from Aztec culture. We pulled images from the Middle Ages. We pulled images from the Renaissance, all different iterations of death, put it into our mind blender, and then came up with this. So this guy actually doesn't have a name. We never like officially named him. In our mind, it's kind of like those Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns. You know, like he's always the man with no name who comes to the town and you never know what his real name is. So he's kind of our man with no name. But we were thinking, Chris and I, when we were working on this, we're like, well, that's just going to get annoying after a while. We're going to be in meetings and they're like, okay, we're talking about wardrobe for the man with no name, and we'd have to say that over and over and over again. So we just call him Muerte, which is Spanish for death. And he is going to be the guy you meet out in front. He's the pre-show, if you will, for this haunted house. He's going to be telling you the story about these three monsters. And he's designed with an articulated jaw so that the actor wearing the mask can lip sync to track. And you're going to see he's kind of the bookends of the haunted house as well. So when we came up with this idea for the cemetery, we thought, well, this is cool. This will be like the portal that you go through that transports you to all the world of these different monsters. So this is when you step through that crypt. Again, I want to point out, two-story. I just feel like I have to validate that guy because he was right. He like nailed it right out of the gate. So you enter this two-story mausoleum, and there's inside that you have to go through. And I kind of snuck a pig the other day. I like the guy in the middle. I'm obsessed with him now. I saw these pictures were coming in from the field, and I'm like, who's that guy? I'm going to call him Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno.
It's just like, he's just like, and the guy behind him is just like, hey, let me see. You know, it's just like, no, Bruno has to look now. So this is the transition, and there's bats roosting in the upper niches, and there's animation and LED bat eyes. And as you go through this, you come to the first in a series of crypt paintings. And this is another thing we pulled from our research. This is an old Aztec tomb painting. But we thought it would be really cool if we used artwork, which is the same artwork you guys just saw in the key art, but did it in the style of like crypt paintings that would introduce you to each different area that you're going to. So this is the crypt painting for Tlalhupuchi. And then we also have crypt paintings for the other two monsters as well, La Lechuza and El Silbón. Wow. And now we're going to get into their lair. So we'll start with Tlalhupuchi. And it all goes back to research. That's where all of this begins. So when I was doing research for Tlalhupuchi, I mentioned how she transforms into Tlalhupuchi. And the specifics of that, and it's very specific. She comes into her house, she sets a big roaring fire in the middle of the floor of the house. She has to use specific wood, specific spices, and then she has to walk back and forth over the fire in the shape of a cross multiple times, back and forth, and then when she's done with all of that, she sits on the fire and her legs detach. And then she starts to transform into a bird. So we thought, that's pretty cool. So that's what you're going to see in our first scene. It's called Transformation. Chris felt really strongly that he wanted to give each of these environments like their own unique statement or their own unique twist. So Tlalhupuchi's lair has these big talon marks, scratches all over the walls, and it's just filled with bird cages. So there's birds everywhere. As you go a little further into Tlalhupuchi's realm, an area we call Los Infantes, or the infants, you start discovering these bassinets. Because one thing I didn't tell you about the Tlalhupuchi is she's very particular. She feeds on blood. And she'll drink anyone's blood if she's desperate enough, but she really, really prefers the blood of an infant. That's like the sweetest tasting blood.
Oh my God. What?
So there's all these bassinets, but they're all empty.
Hide your wife.
And there's always a moment in Horror Nights, particularly with these houses. Last year with La Llorona, and going back to when we first did it, it was the scene across the river. You know? You guys, you know what I'm talking about, right? When you get to the town and you have to cross the river and there's the kids floating in the water.
Super dark, Casey.
But I have to tell you how we did that. Because it's really weird. There's only like 2 inches of water, you know, and that's like pond liner. It's like how you make a koi pond in your backyard. So when we first did this, Chris and I were, and Tony, who's our prop master, we were like, what are we going to do? How are we going to float these kids? Well, God, we'll cut them in half. And now this is what I do with my children when they're misbehaving. Put that down, or you're going to end up in Daddy's maze. So this is a scene where you're walking towards another crypt painting of Tlalhupuchi, and it disappears, and then you'll see. Let's talk about La Lechuza. So for La Lechuza's lair, again, it goes back to research, right? When I was doing research, and I have to wonder, like, there's got to be somebody in IT by now that looks at my search history, you know, and it's just like, I got a problem. But one of the things I was researching is carnivorous birds' nests. Because there's one thing certain birds do that's really, really messed up. When they kill an animal that they're going to eat, they use their bones to decorate their nest. They like adorn their nest with the bones of their victim. And I thought, that's awesome. La Lechuza's an owl. She's an owlwood. She must have a nest. So we built her a nest. Wow. So this is another color elevation of La Lechuza's realm, and you see all of those bones. So her nest is made out of all these found objects, sticks and twigs, and the bones of her victims. And what this really speaks to is another member on our team that we want to appreciate and acknowledge today, Tony Lindis. Tony Lindis is our prop master. He heads up a team, you know, working in the industry, film, television, but they come to Horror Nights and work for us year after year after year to do all the props and dressing in our house. And there is a mountain of it, if you can imagine. And a lot of times Tony's team has to just wholly create things. And this is a good example. So I snuck these pictures from our secret offsite facility that you don't know about. And I had to crop this picture too, because if I would have left the whole picture, you would have seen like Chucky, and you can't see that yet. That's a surprise. But these are the bodies that you see in the nest that Tony and his team had to create, and then you see the work they're doing to make these, you know, places where these victims' rotting corpses are being contained. All of that is done by hand. It's all done by our props and dressing team. So give it up for our props and dressing team. Woo! But then we had an idea, and we were like, well, it'd be really cool if you walked into this house and you just saw this giant La Lechuza like eating somebody in her nest. So we went to some other individuals on our team. Again, I want to point out these individuals on our team because in the last few years, we have been stepping it up on special effects. And this year, wait till you see what these talented men and women have created. It's insane. David Borning heads up our special effects team. And Paul, who's now going to change his name because I can't pronounce it. I'm going to try Paul. Paul Vasilakos Long? Is that good? Close? What I love about David and Paul is they want to do more than we ask them to do. Like, did you guys go through Scarecrow last year?
Yes!
Okay. Remember that bird that was eating an eyeball on the table and it was like dangling out of his mouth and it was moving around? That was all them. Like, I didn't even write that in in the treatment, I don't think. They were just like, hey, we can make a bird, and I was like, do it. So the other individuals that they work with who are a massive, massive help to us and are working on this particular piece is our Universal Studios Hollywood Technical Service Department, the mechanical engineers. These people, I would give them the bow of, you know, where do you see Chucky? I keep saying that, and I don't want to show you, I just want you to experience it. But they're doing stuff that I never thought we could do with Horror Nights, like this. So this is a video when we were building the La Lechuza. It's like the T-1000 ectoskeleton for her. The cardboard is a severed, you know, arm/leg, and you can see it's taking a little bite, and its wings are unfurling. And I think in my treatment when I wrote it, it didn't have any of that. And they were just like, hey, we think we can do this, and they did it. And it's amazing. The only problem is I don't know how I'm going to hide those 3 guys on set. I have to like throw a sheet over them or something. But they're doing amazing work, and we can't wait to share it with you.
That's amazing.
All right, El Silbón. So now we've kind of been indoors for a long time. We want to break it up. We want to do a big outdoor scene. So for El Silbón, we really wanted to take you to a village because he typically comes and attacks people, you know, who are leaving a village on the crossroads late at night. So this goes back to research again. As I was doing research, I came across this, pulquerías. Does anybody know what that is? Or pulque? Yeah. To explain it in like, you know, American terms, like in the Wild West, this would be the equivalent of like a saloon. This would be a place you go for a drink, maybe some food, some dancing, some gambling, and probably a lot of fights, right? Pulque is an alcohol that's derived from cacti. What I loved about it is that's what it looks like in its pure state, right? It looks like foamy white milk. And I thought, if we combined blood, if there was like blood running and foamy white pulque running together, that would be really disgusting. So we decided to create our own pulqueria. And then next door is the carniceria, the butcher shop. So as you head into this pulqueria, we have a scene called Pulqueria Massacre. And basically El Silbón has come in and he's just killed every single person in this joint, particularly the womanizers and the drunks. I didn't mention how he kills them though. This is the tweaked part. If you're a drunk, he sucks the alcohol out of their body through their navel. Yeah. I was like, nah. But with womanizers, he rips them apart limb from limb, literally rips the bones out of their body and adds it to his sack that he has his father's bones in. So this is a dead body. Am I kidding? It really is. It's not like it's in my closet or something. As far as you know. No, this is from Body Wars, the touring exhibit that goes around the world. But I needed to know, like, what does a backbone look like? What does a spine look like? Because we wanted to do a scene where El Silbón literally rips somebody's spine right out of their back.
Oh my God.
And that's El Silbón. Now, for the finale of this house, after you've gone through all these different layers, we wanted to do something really special. And again, it comes back to research. So I found this statue. This statue is in a, believe it or not, it's in, I believe, an El Silbón theme park. I want to go to this place. Like, it's crazy, but it's this huge towering statue. But when I was looking at it, I thought, oh, that's cool. With the bones like spilling out of the sack. Because another thing El Silbón does is, let's say he's walking through your village late at night. He might stop in front of your house. He might sit down that giant sack of bones, and then one at a time, 1, 2, 3. He'll just sit there and count every single bone to make sure he has them all. So we thought, after El Silbón has gone through this village and killed like everybody in sight, his sack has got to be pretty big by this point. In fact, it's got to be enormous. And wouldn't it be cool if you had to go into that sack of bones? And what would you find there?
Question marks.
You just have to wait and see.
What is it?
All right. Let's do some more Horror Nights appreciation. Patrick McGee Effects. Patrick is our makeup artist, our creature creator. You know, he goes all the way back, if you remember the Queen Alien from AVP, all of those amazing things, American Werewolf from London, that's all Patrick. Patrick has created some amazing stuff for us over the years. I'll share a little bit about what he's creating for this house.
I know, such a big team.
This is the sculpt from Muerte, and again, it has a movable jaw so that it can actually lip sync to track. This is Patrick's sculpt for La Lechuza. And this is his sculpt for El Silbón, and he sent me this really cool video.
How are you?
So you can like watch it. And this is the part that trips me out. It's like, I know it has hair, right? You can see it in the rendering. And I'm like, nobody's ever gonna see the back of his head. But Patrick still has to put in all the details because that's the way he is. And then, whoa.
How you
Okay, I know that's the mask.
Happy Sunday.
I guess you'll have to wait and see. But wait, there's more!
There's more! Tell us more.
How about another announcement? Alright, we're gonna mix it up into a Scare Zone announcement.
Oh, yes!
When you come out of this house, we're gonna keep everything going with this theme and take you to a brand new Scare Zone called El Terror de las Momias.
El terror de las
And this
momias.
is all about inspiration. And the person who supplied the inspiration is Mr. Patrick Quinn. Pat is one of the few people, might be one of the only people that I know and work with at Universal Studios Hollywood who's actually worked there longer than me. I think Pat started in the park as Woody Woodpecker.
I know, Angel.
I think as a character back in the day, but he's
Especially
worked
with all
with
these
Horror Nights and Chris and I
announcements.
since the
We're
very,
so
very
excited.
beginning. And
Hopefully
the
we
way
run
Chris
into
and
you
I
at
always
HHN.
talk about Pat when we try to explain like how we work with Pat is we just go, Pat just thinks different. And it's true. Like he comes up with stuff that Chris and I would never come up with. All of the scare zones in the park, that's not my creative, that's not Chris's creative, that's Pat's creative. So give it up for Pat for all the amazing scare zones he's created over the years. And this is what I mean about Pat's creativity. This is what Pat came to us with. He's like, hey, you know, in the 1950s in Mexico, there was these really specific horror movies they made about Aztec mummies. And, you know, there's like mummies fighting wrestlers and mummies fighting evil robots. But he wanted to do something with that idea, but do our Horror Nights original version. Wow. So that meant that Pat had to create like a multiverse of movies that don't actually exist. Wow. And he did. And that brings up another person on our team that needs a lot of love and respect and kudos, and that is Lucas Colshaw. Lucas Colshaw is our lead designer, illustrator. Every single one of those character drawings I show you, that's all Lucas's work. He draws all of that. If you guys remember Bride of Frankenstein Lives and all the beautiful book artwork, if you remember Holidays in Hell and all of those amazing postcards, that's all Lucas. He created all of that. So you put Pat together with Lucas, and they created a multiverse of movies that don't really exist. And it starts with The Mummy That Couldn't Die. And I love that they did, not only did they do the movie poster, they did the lobby card for the movie. And these are going to be used in the scenic, but they're also going to be used in the video that's part of the Scare Zone as well. So the idea is here that they made this movie, The Mummy That Couldn't Die, and it was a huge hit. And they were really excited to make a sequel. So they made The Mummy versus the Undead Skeletons in classic horror movie tradition. If it succeeds once, make 20 of them. And then they got around to make the third film.
Venganza de la Momia.
You get the joke?
Yeah.
So this was not me, this was Pat. Pat's like, I want to call one of them Revenge of the Mummy, which is funny because I created a Revenge of the Mummy, you know, the ride in my previous life years and years ago.
Thank you so much.
So they made Revenge of the Mummy, but by now, you know, the box office is not doing quite as well as the first movie in the series, but they gave it another go, and they did Escape from the Mummy script. But then, by this point, they've kind of run they played out the thread for these mummy movies, and so they decided to go in a different direction, and they did Blood of the Skeleton Queen. And they introduced a brand new character, the Skeleton Queen, but the box office wasn't quite there, so they went, that didn't do so well. Let's just bring back the Mummy and mash it together and do the Mummy versus the Skeleton Queen. But that didn't do that well at the box office either. So by the end, they just said, oh, whatever, just a Village of the Dead, Village of the Undead. So all of these pieces were created by, Pat's creativity, Lucas's art, and there's a concept. Yes, scare zones actually do have a plot, but it's really simple. You gotta keep it really, really simple, like a couple of sentences. So I'll give you my best shot at the plot of this scare zone. So somebody, not naming names, possibly the man with no name, dug up an ancient Aztec burial site or tomb in a village, and unwittingly or wittingly released a bunch of undead Aztec warriors upon the village. And they killed everybody in sight and turned all the villagers into the undead. And all of this is being preceded over by who other than the Skeleton Queen, who's a stilt walker. And that brings up another person on our team, and that is Christina Wright. Christina Wright is our costume designer. So she works hand in hand with me and Chris and Pat and Lucas, coming up with how we're going to bring all these costumes to life. So here's the full cast. Except Morte. Morte wasn't invited, apparently. He's not in there. But this is all the work that Christina and her team does to produce these hundreds and hundreds of costumes for Horror Nights.
Wow.
What's next?
Tell us.
What the heck is that?
Exterminators.
Project Eggplant.
Terror Trap.
Note to self. Announcement delay. Delete from deck prior to... Oh! Sorry. Time for another history lesson.
Is that Exterminators from Terror Trap?
100 years ago, a legacy of horror began. This is 1923. This is a photograph taken on the Universal lot in 1923. The studio, in the silent film era, undertook possibly the biggest production of its history up to that point. A production that required the construction of massive sets unlike anything they've ever seen built on the lot before, or frankly since, including a full-scale replica of a large section of the Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris and an entire French village. When the cameras started rolling, the cast was so big that they had to invent the first PA system. That's what you see the director wearing the black hat standing next to, so that they could communicate with all of the crew members and all of the actors working on the production. The film starred Lon Chaney Sr., the man of 1,000 faces, as Quasimodo, and literally a cast of thousands. In this picture alone, there's 2,500 extras in this film. This is 1923. The film, of course, is The Hunchback of Notre Dame from 1923. And the reason why I'm talking about this and showing you all this is last year, around this time, I started thinking about, wow, next year's going to be the 100th anniversary of Hunchback.
I know.
And it actually came out in the movie theaters September 6th. So right when it's 100 years old, Horror Nights is going to open, right? So it felt like we needed to pay tribute and homage to the films that started a franchise that we know today as the Universal Classic Monsters, right? Because without Hunchback, none of this would have ever happened. So, once upon a time in Paris.
Paris, the city of light. But underneath her bustling boulevards, her noisy cafes, silence is king, and darkness reigns.
60 feet beneath the city streets of Paris, there is an empire of the dead. The bones of 6 million Parisians are buried there in an underground catacomb. But something else is down there too. The Phantom of the Opera. The Palace Garnier, better known as the Paris Opera House. In his underground lair, the Phantom is still down there, and he's not alone. There's someone else down there too. Quasimodo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, has literally gone underground. Meanwhile, in London, the local authorities are searching for 2 doctors who are involved with unethical, illegal experiments. The first doctor is Dr. Jack Griffin, better known as the Invisible Man. The second doctor is Dr. Henry Jekyll, whose experiments have led him to embrace the darker side of his nature, known as Mr. Edward Hyde.
Wow.
We dead welcome you to our world of shadow, knowing soon you will be one of us.
The Universal Monsters legacy at Halloween Horror Nights continues. Yes. With the house we just announced on Friday, I believe, Universal Monsters Unmasked. This is the fifth Universal Monster house that we've done at Horror Nights in Hollywood. And again, it takes appreciation, not specifically like a team member of Horror Nights, but somebody I really wanted to recognize today, Crash McCreary. Do you guys know who Crash McCreary is? Okay. Crash did the key art that I just showed you, all of those illustrations, right? Crash is a legend in the film industry. He started with Stan Winston years and years ago. He helped design The Terminator. He helped design with Tim Burton, Edward Scissorhands. He helped design movies like Pirates of the Caribbean, Jurassic Park films, etc., etc., etc. So Crash works with us to bring the Universal Monsters to life, and so he designed two particular monsters that he really helped us out with, and that is, I'll show you Crash's illustrations here. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Now I know what you're thinking. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde isn't a Universal Monster movie. Au contraire. It is. We made a silent version of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, like before the studio even came west and became Universal Studios Hollywood. It was what was called a 2-reeler in those days. 2 reels of film, 26 minutes long, silent film. So we thought we should bring Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and fold him into the Universal Monster family because he was literally the first monster we ever did at Universal. So again, this is an opportunity to do history as horror, which I personally love. And it's all based on real things that happened. This is an old 18th century illustration of a cemetery called the Cemetery of the Innocents in Paris. So back in those days, within the city confines of Paris, they were burying people in cemeteries, and then more people would die when you'd have things like the plagues, like the Black Death, the bubonic plague. A whole lot of people died. They just bury them and bury them and bury them and bury them, and they overburied people in the cemeteries inside Paris to the point that some really awful things happened. And these are true. You can actually look it up. I came across it in my research. Literally, imagine you're in a French cafe. I'll sit down for this. Imagine you're having dinner with your wife or your husband or your significant other, and you're in a lovely French cafe, and you're drinking your wine, and you're eating your cheese, and all of a sudden, the wall cracks open, and hundreds of rotting corpses spill into the restaurant. That happened, okay? Sinkholes developed out of the ground, and suddenly there were bodies. So bodies were literally coming out of the ground. They buried so many bodies, retaining walls were breaking, bodies were pouring onto the street, and the king at the time, which was King Louis, you know King Louis, right? He was the one who, in the French Revolution, who got guillotined. King Louis did a declaration, and he said, "From now on, we are to bury no people within the city limits of Paris." So awesome. That's not really practical, you know? People are going to continue to die. So they had to figure out what to do with all these bodies. Now, Paris is built over a series of limestone mines. It's all the materials that were used to build the beautiful architecture in Paris. That's where it came from. And then once they, mined all these things out, they just left them. And underneath the city streets, there are endless miles and miles of these tunnels, of these old mines. To this day, they're not all explored. They don't really know where they all lead. But what they eventually did is they went to the cemeteries late at night, under the cover of darkness. They exhumed the bones. They put them on carts. They covered them with black cloth. They took them to a place where there was an opening that led down to the mine, and they just dumped them. They dumped all those bones down there, 6 million people. And then later, some people that were a little more artfully minded came down there and arranged the bones into an ossuary. And then in 1870, they opened it to the public for the first time, and that's when our house takes place. So, also under the ground, if you've ever seen the Phantom of the Opera, he's on that underground lake, and he's rowing his boat, and he's singing away. That does exist. This is a picture of it. This is what it actually looks like. There is a subterranean underground lake underneath the Paris Opera House. They still use it today for fire training, for search and rescue. And the other thing we found when we were doing Hunchback of Notre Dame and going through all the research, we came across this scene from our silent film where Esmeralda, the gypsy, she's taken there for questioning when she's wrongfully accused of a crime she doesn't commit. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Victor Hugo novel, Hunchback of Notre Dame, but I can tell you it's very, very different than the, She Lives Happily Ever After novel, or movie. Esmeralda in the book doesn't live. She gets hung, for the crime she was confused. And, yeah. Seems like we should do that. There's 2 other pieces of inspiration for this house. The black and white image you see, that is the Café de la Enfer. What this was essentially the first themed restaurant, believe it or not. It used to exist in Paris. It was a cabaret or a cafe themed to hell, right? And all the waiters dressed up like devils, and it was all themed on the inside. This existed in Paris up until about the 1950s, and then they demolished it and turned it into a supermarket. I know. And then another thing we pulled together was the Grand Guignol. Do you guys know what the Grand Guignol Theater was in Paris? It was like an underground theater for the rich and famous who loved to come watch shows where they thought people were really being killed on stage, but it was all an act. So we thought, well, if all these monsters are underground, if the Phantom of the Opera's down there, and the Hunchback's down there, and Jekyll and Hyde and Dr. Jack Griffin had fled from London so that they could continue their experiments underground where the authorities can't bother them. A club, like an exclusive club that you can go to down here. Let's go party. Now the setting. Now I've seen a lot of speculation on this on the internet as well. You're looking at this facade and you're like, what is that? There's a little booth and then there's this big, huge blank thing. What that is a giant-sized reproduction of an English-language French newspaper. And where you see the blank spots, both on the facade where it's a different color, and also on that graphic, that's where the illustrations that I just showed you go. It's a whole pre-show we're creating to help tell the story before you go inside. And again, people on the internet, this is a ticket booth. It's a ticket booth. It's not a ticket booth. It's a French newspaper stand. Okay. And sitting behind that is an animated skeleton figure that we call Madame Squelette. Squelette is French for skeleton. So we thought, oh, it'd be cool if one of the dead, one of the 6 million dead that are in these catacombs, is actually telling you this story. So that's the voice you heard that I was playing earlier. She's narrating the story, setting it up for you. Lucas's artwork is changing on the newspaper, so we get to do a little bit of a pre-show before you go inside. Now, Madame Squelette also exists as a physical character, but when you're inside the catacombs, she's like back to her mortal state, a character we call the Rat Lady.
Ooh, look at that.
And the idea is that this is a woman that's down in the catacombs, scouring for any food she can find, so she's literally eating rats. And she has a very advanced case of, God, it just left my brain. Smallpox. Thank you. Well, smallpox. Advanced case of smallpox. So, and we just recently filmed her, and she also appears on video. And this is from that.
Oh,
This is like an hour and a half long makeup. It's all prosthetic makeup. And what this speaks to is our show quality and events team. So another recognition we want to give Missy Delgado, who heads up this team. We write all this stuff, then they have to cast it. They have to find the people that are going to be in our videos, the people that are going to do our voiceover work. We try as much as possible to pull that right from the people that already work at Universal Studios so we can give them an opportunity to do something different. And then Scott Kleckner. Scott has been with us since the beginning as well. Scott has been in charge of our character program since the very earliest day of Horror Nights. Two other individuals I want to shout out to. Zach Gelwicks. It's, you know, been doing this a long time. I met Zach, I think, when he was 10. I literally met him in the park at Horror Nights as a fan. And now he's a big part of working with our team and training our actors. And then Brian Asrick, who is our casting director, casting all of our talent now. And here's a sneak peek of what's inside. So this is in the Catacombs, and we're in the middle of scenic props and dressing, but Chris really went for it to recreate that ossuary look. Let's talk about the music.
Let's talk about it.
Slash.
So, God, 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago, 2013, I met Slash at Halloween Horror Nights when he came to see our Black Sabbath house. Wow. And as soon as we came out of the house, he just turned to me and he was like, I want to do this. Like, how can we work together? And so he started doing music for our houses years and years ago. It started with a house called Clowns 3D. And then, as I mentioned, when we started getting into Universal Monsters, Slash has done every single score. So that's now 5 full scores that he's done. But he works with an individual on our team I want to recognize, and that is Stacy Quinolte. Stacy co-writes everything with Slash, co-writes all the music, arranges it, produces it. So Stacy and Slash, before I was heading out for this, I was like, hey, you got a track? You got a track we can share with these people at Midsummer Scream? So we're going to play you one track from the new score for Universal Monsters Unmasked. It's a track called Silent Screams that features the work of Slash and Stacy Quinolte.
Are you guys ready?
Have a listen. it up for Slash.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that gave me the chills. Oh my god.
Back in 2021.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
Remember we did the Bride of Frankenstein Lives?
So good. Yes.
People have been asking me. Remember back in 2021,
Oh my
we had to all wear masks. We're still in that point. So, like, nobody ever got to see what the Bride of Frankenstein looked like. And people have been asking me on Twitter, and hey, can we see what the Bride of Frankenstein looked like? So, I brought this with
So
me.
glad he played the whole thing.
I just thought you might enjoy this. This is a time lapse that Pat McGee shot of the Bride of Frankenstein's makeup. So it was full prosthetic makeup to get that burned look. It's probably an hour in the chair, a little bit longer. And I was thinking, it's such a shame that nobody got to see that, right? Seems like you should get an opportunity to see that, doesn't it?
Yes. Wow.
We're gonna do a little something. We've been doing more and more of what we call these character interactions, just like places where you can discover a character where you normally wouldn't find one. So keep your eyes peeled this year at Horror Nights. You might just run into the bride.
Yes.
Fan appreciation time. All right. Here's what we're giving away today. 2 express tickets to Halloween Horror Nights and a behind-the-scenes tour of one of the houses with yours truly. We're going to do it like we always do it. We're going to ask a trivia question, and I'm just going to pick a random person from the audience. And if you get the question right, you win 2 express passes to Horror Nights. Plus, I'll take you on a behind-the-scenes tour of one of our houses. Oh, look, they put La Llorona on it. Seems like you should have a chance to see her again, too.
Come on.
Go see. All right, you ready for this?
He's teasing us.
The question.
Let's see who gets it right in the chat.
You guys answer in the chat. Wait for it.
Okay. You remember this guy, right?
A murder.
Remember this guy from last year? Yeah.
Raise your hand.
Okay, if you have 1 crow, you refer to them as a crow. If you have more than 1 crow, you refer to them as something else. Don't shout it out. Let's see. Green jacket right there. I think green jacket. No, you right there. Yeah. Is it? And the answer is a murder of crows.
The more you know.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, so much for being a part of this today. Seriously, what I wanted to talk about today, besides all the things we're doing, is all the work everybody on this team does for Halloween
Let's
Horror
get some
Nights.
flyers in the chat.
It takes a village to do this, just like it takes a village to do Midsummer Scream. So thank you to everybody in Midsummer Scream. Thank you all. I'll try and hang out somewhere out there if you want to come by and say hi. We'll see you at Horror Nights. Thanks.
See you there.
At this time, we ask that you kindly collect your belongings and make your way out of the
Alright, you guys,
auditorium.
bear with us as
We
we
need
head
to
out.
reset all of the traps and clean up the mess before we
What
let
did you
our
guys
next
think about that?
guests in. Enjoy the rest of your
What
experience.
did you think about that, babe?
Midsummer
Oh my
Scream.
God. Insane.
So much to talk about. So much to talk about. I don't even know where to start.
I know. He just threw at us so much.
Just threw so much info at us. What was the highlight for you guys? Let us know in the chat right now. What was the highlight for you guys? Woo, that was amazing. Oh, no. That's crazy.
I'm still thinking about the song.
The song was, oh my god, I got chills too. I got the chills. Yeah.
It was not just me.
No, I can't.
And I agree. Somebody said that she's happy that he played the whole song. I thought, to be honest, I thought he was going to play
like a little clip of it? No, he played like, it seemed like most of the songs. I'm so excited. I can't wait to talk about it maybe on Thursday, a little bit more. More on our vlog. There's a lot to say. We're gonna keep talking about what happened today. So much info though. Here, let's flip the camera. Yeah. It was already, is that fine? Okay, there we go. Yes. What do you guys think? You learn something new every day.
That's all I gotta say.
Streamception. Hey.
I asked him. I'm gonna ask the same thing to you. What was it? What you guys expected?
Somewhat, but we got more. More than we expected. Yeah.
I honestly thought with the Terror Tram base or whatever they were gonna do over there, just with that, I think I would have been satisfied. Like I wouldn't have cared of like all the hints of
the scare zone. Scare zone. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I did want to know about the Terror Tram.
Because why does he keep on saying Chucky? Something's up with Chucky.
Yeah, but you saw the face of the bug thing.
Yeah.
Exterminators. Terror Tram. I think that's what it's gonna be. I think that's what it's gonna be.
I really hope that it doesn't let us down.
I don't know. Team Park Detective, you guys already know. Good to see you as always. See you guys. What's up, Jesse? There he is. How you doing? Oh, sorry. Yo, we got Jesse's in the house. Jesse Street. How you doing, brother? What'd you think?
I think it's an amazing lineup this year.
Oh my! I'm so excited. It's something fresh. The scare zone is gonna be de las momias, the house, monstros, like Latin monsters. That's cool, dude. I'm so excited. Yeah. Where were you sitting?
Over here up in the front.
Okay, for sure. This is what it looks like, you guys. Here, let's make our way out there. Yeah, we'll see you out there. Oh, yeah. Woo! Oh my goodness, you guys. I couldn't be more happy. Yeah, I just wanted maybe Evil Dead Rise or to be announced. I mean, we know it's going to be that for the most part, unless they throw a curveball at us. And then, yeah, Terror Tram. I really want to know what the Terror Tram is going to be about.
I think that's what everybody was expecting.
But
they
he
were
did.
expecting an announcement for the Terror Tram.
He did drop a little sneak peek of that bug thing, you know. So for that, it was like, it's going to be Exterminator. So, yeah, of course. Of course.
I missed your last one when you guys were talking about the food. You guys were making food.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no worries. Here, let's get in here.
I go by Andrew Disney. I go by Andrew Disney online.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Yeah, I remember you, Andrew Disney. I remember you on the chat. So nice to meet you. Thank you. We have the friends here. Yeah, you guys. Let's see. Yeah, we have 2 things left pending: Terror Tram and Evil Dead Rise. Brian Sevilla, final thoughts.
We got reveals, unlike the Knots one.
Very true. Thank you.
Not to be mean.
Yeah.
We did get to see a lot of stuff.
Thank you, John Murdy, for giving us some info today. Yeah. What are you most excited about after today?
Definitely the monsters. The
Monstros? Yeah. Oh, Universal Monsters too.
Yeah. And definitely, which is basically the Hispanic monsters.
Yeah. Latin monsters. Right? We're getting double monsters.
Yeah. I mean.
Sorry. No. Go ahead.
No. I mean. It's all monsters, but like it's specific kind of monsters.
You think we're gonna see the Bride and La Llorona in a scare zone?
I think so. I've heard Orlando is doing like a roaming horde with pagans, so maybe something like that.
Okay.
The other possibility is like they had Hollywood Harry down there by the tram.
Got you. Yeah.
Maybe something like that.
Something similar to that. Okay. A roaming horde. So they're gonna be roaming the park. Yeah. Connecting the dots.
We're all gonna go home and like just marinate everything, right?
We're all gonna throw it at Eddie.
Yeah.
No, that sucks. That's not gonna happen.
Brian, always a pleasure. Yes. This is Brian Sevilla. You guys know him in the chat.
He's always in the chat, you guys.
And you were live as well too, right? You were live as well too?
Yeah, I was.
He always covers HHN. So yeah, good to see you, Brian.
All right,
we're gonna head out here. We'll see you out here. Yeah. They turn up the music because they're like, we gotta get out of here. So. What do you guys think? That was awesome. That was awesome. All right, let's make our way out here. Hi. Yeah, of course. Hi, how's it going?
I think we've seen each other before. You came to New Year's Eve at a bar.
Okay.
And then I attended you for one of your drinks too.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I remember you. Awesome, yeah, nice to see you again. Yeah, for sure. Give us 1 second, friends. Awesome, yeah, so good to see you. Thanks for saying hi. Thank you. Have a good one. Thank you. Yeah, of course. How's it going? How you doing? Good to meet you.
Congratulations. I'm so fucking stoked for you.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much.
I'm so proud of you guys.
What'd you guys think? That was awesome, right? We're getting double the monsters. Latin monsters and Universal monsters. Obviously. Classic. Yeah, sorry, just, all good, all good. All right, let's get it. Get in here, get in here.
What was your name? Sorry, I didn't get to say
Awesome, appreciate you guys, man. Yeah, for sure. So we'll see you guys at Halloween Horror Nights, right? Yeah, nice to, we'll see you guys there.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice meeting you.
How are you? Good to see you.
Congrats on meeting us. So awesome.
Sorry about that, friends. You know how it is. Okay, so let's see. What's everybody thinking? Yes, Dr. Jekyll. Oh my goodness. You guys, I don't even know where to start, to be completely honest with all of you. There's so much that happened. Sorry. What's the next panel?
I think it's in
Yeah, I have it right now. I'm just wondering. The bride might be at the exit of Terror Tram like Hollywood Harry was last year? Question mark? Maybe. I want to see the bride too. He's showing this for a reason.
I was not expecting that.
No, me neither. We are missing the shows Terror Tram, River, Evil Dead Brides, and Holidays in Hell. That's right. I'm so cool. The show will be at the Waterworld Arena. That's what we keep hearing. Yes, we got Ashley's here.
Where's Ashley?
We got someone said hi, Ashley.
In the chat is saying, hi guys.
Hey, how are you?
What's
going on, man? Thank you, thank you. Everyone's out here right now.
I know.
I think we're waiting for John to come out. That's probably why.
He said he's gonna come back.
Yeah. We got JP here. What's up, chat? Yeah, we love Nick and Ash. They're awesome.
Yeah, they're so awesome.
Someone was. Tanya said she was. Why am I posing for the camera too, for the picture? Yeah, let's see if we can just get a sneak peek of John Murdy here. Say hi, really. Well, I mean, we're not gonna say hi to him. We'll see him at HHN. We'll see him at Halloween.
I'm gonna give him a
high five. High five. And he kept teasing Chucky. I know. Okay, so here's the thing. On Twitter, he had said something about how they have animatronics for the Chucky house. I don't know how they're going to incorporate them.
Yeah.
I don't know what their purpose is going to be.
He did mention it like more than once though.
Yeah.
So you have to like think about that.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. He doesn't want to show us for a reason.
I know. He's like, you have to wait and see.
Exactly.
He's like, you know what? I can't give you everything.
I want everything though.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like right now, okay, a lot of people are complaining that you didn't get the Terror Tram announcement, but he did give us a lot though.
He did give us a lot.
Yeah, but see, that's us. We just want all of it. We want all the information.
Yeah, everyone's here, you guys. You're our friends, Adam DeWoo, Peter and Kitcher, Ordinary Adventures. They're right over here. Everyone's just kind of hanging out again. They probably want a picture of John Murdy. We'll just show him on camera from far away.
From far away, we're actually pretty close.
Yeah. He was very excited about Chucky too. You know, so many intricacies. I am very excited. Have a good one, JP. Yeah, this is a party atmosphere on 1000. We did it, 100 likes. Thank you guys all so much. We appreciate it. Hey, anyone that watches the replay, thank you so much for saying hi. If you guys were here.
We really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
The man.
The myth. The legend. John Murdy.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding.
There he is, you guys.
I hope the Chucky's on the facade walk to the crowd, almost like like the Emporium. I Yeah, I think there are going to be some moving parts on the facade for Chucky for sure. The Godfather himself, John Murdy.
I get to ask questions. You can ask questions.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it works.
I want to know. This is what I want to know.
Tell us.
Is there going to be props in any of the mazes like there was last year for Monsters Collide?
Okay.
Because that was from those props and they were from the movie.
That's true. That's true. Screen use props. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, 100 years. I'm sure they kept this props in 100 years.
Oh, the Phantom of the Opera. They had the whole opera house until 2015.
Exactly. They had those. They had that whole stage somewhere.
That whole stage.
They still have it somewhere.
John Murdy for president. Hashtag make Halloween 365 days.
I agree. Petition to celebrate. Well, you can.
We should start that campaign. Yes.
I think we already kind of do that. Celebrate as much as we can, right? If you guys had one question for John Murdy, what would it be?
Yeah, what would you guys ask him?
If you guys had one question. What's up, Benjamin? Legit, John Murdy's making me want to go to HHN more. Let's go, Mia. All right, I have one question for John Murdy. Can you get one free ticket for Mia?
Wow, that's your one question.
Yeah, so she can go. Yeah, if you guys could ask John Murdy one question, what would it be? So Brian Severe here had a great one. He said, are there going to be any screen-used props in any of the houses? Like movie props, you know, because those are historical things, pieces that they've used in movies like Legends, Universal Legends, Legends Collide, sorry. They did have some props from the movies as a part of the house.
Peer pressure.
Yeah.
Peer pressuring me.
Exactly. But yeah, everyone's just kind of here.
Admiring John Murdy over here. I know, Nestor. We should just get an autograph and then we'll make copies for you guys. Your most anticipated house is Los Monstros? Yeah. It's crazy. He actually gave a lot of information. And again, you guys, that's why we love Midsummer Scream. Because not only do they give a lot of announcements, but they also tell you the backstory of how he came up with the ideas, who worked on it.
Yeah. Everyone's, let's see, okay, yeah, for sure. Science waiver for me to go to HHN, let's go. We'll see you guys all there. Not Chris getting John Murdy an autograph tattoo. What?
Coming soon on Thursday, the reveal.
I know, imagine.
The reveal.
We'll do it live. I was literally out driving places and doing stuff, but had to stream on full volume to listen to everything that was announced. It sounded like it's going to be a fun and great night. Aspect, it is going to be a great time. Thank you so much for tuning in.
You guys, as you see, we get a lot of announcements, but then we get the backstory. That's what I love. I love hearing, where he was at when he came up with the story.
The research, all the research that went into it.
It's super, super dope.
My question to him would be, did you ever imagine in a million years that a passion you have for horror and creating HHN would grow to this extent and have a lot of fans? That's a great question. Yeah, he's living a dream for sure. He is living a dream, a Halloween dream. Love the backstory. Yeah. Okay, friends, let's go ahead and end our live stream here. We'll be right back. Oh. Don't cross the streams. So yeah, check it out. Look it's still going strong. Midsummer Scream is still going strong here. But the event is the final day. I think it ends at 7 or 8. We might just hang out for a little bit and then we gotta go home, pick up mochi, start our week. So let's go ahead and flip the camera here. The Wi-Fi was strong with us here, which is awesome.
Again, stay tuned for our vlog. You guys worked really hard on it all weekend. And thank you guys so much. We feel so blessed again. Media, you guys, we got media.
It's our first media event.
And
it's because of you. You, right there watching, because of you.
And again,
thank you so much.
All of those things, all of the blessings that come our way, we know they're because of you guys, and we promise that we will never take them for granted.
No.
So we really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys so much. We couldn't do this happiness without you. Vlogs, TikTok, shorts. We're posting everywhere, Instagram, but it's all, we try to keep it different. So make sure you guys follow us everywhere. Huge shout out to our mods. Thank you guys so much. We might be going live tomorrow or Tuesday. We'll let you guys know.
Yeah, we'll let you guys know. Again, whenever we do plan a live that's already like set, you guys will see that we set like a premiere time or we set it up.
Keep an eye out. Yeah, we might go live tomorrow night, not Tuesday. We'll see.
Yeah, we've been actually loving going live on Monday.
It's a lot of fun.
If we come up with a good idea to do something, then we'll probably go live tomorrow. Yeah.
No, we don't want to make Ghosty Des cry. You guys are the best, seriously, all of you. Yeah. Thank you, Mia. Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate you guys. Halloween Horror Nights. Happy Halloween, everybody. We'll be there. Cannot wait. I'm so excited.
You guys enjoyed all the announcements.
A lot of announcements across the entire weekend, so we're going to try to cover all that in our video to finish off strong. We'll see you guys later. Cuídense, take care of one another, and happy Halloween from Midsummer Scream 2023. Calling it. That's a wrap. Bye, everybody. Adios.